Good morning, I'm Renee, and this is Krista, and we are here with our recap for the third Coffee and Cake Plan session. We had a wonderful morning with 7 of our plan sponsors talking about fees. But before we get into the recap of the actual event, it's always nice when we get our plan sponsors together to not only talk about 401k related things, but give them a chance to kind of get to know each other and talk about something else that they may or may not be doing in their company. So today we talked about outings, company outings, team building.
Yeah, actually, it was really great because Renee and I actually had the opportunity to do a relay triathlon with Charlie a couple weeks ago. It was the Try for Jimmy, which takes place at Hampton Ponds Plaza in Westfield. And somehow we managed to get first place in the relay division, which is amazing. So we sort of did our icebreaker by showing a picture of us with our medals, which was really fun, and we're super proud of it. And then we kind of talked about other team building exercises that they might do as a company. And it was sort of enlightening to find out that some of these people, they don't have that, and they wanted to start doing that. So we were able to kind of add that an extra level of employee engagement, if it were, to the discussion, which was great.
Yeah, it's always nice to hear what other companies are doing or not doing, maybe get some ideas. Some of the companies are doing bubble runs or 5Ks. Yeah. Some don't have anything. So yeah, it's always nice to kind of add a little value. We let them make some connections, get some ideas. So on to what the actual presentation was on and our Coffee and Cake Plan session for today. It was about the fees and expenses in the 401k plans. So we talked about the different types of fees that are in a plan. You have your admin fees, which is record keeper costs, TPA costs, really what it costs to run the plan in that sense. Mm-hmm. Your advisor fees, advisory and consulting, which would be our fee, our Epstein financial fee. If you want to.
Yeah. So then there is participant-related fees. So if you as a participant are looking to take a withdrawal or a loan, that would be something that the participant would pay for themselves. Typically, most plan sponsors don't want to pay those extra fees for participants, so they tack that on to a participant expense. The other fee that we did talk about and we really kind of dove into was investment-related fees, what an expense ratio is, what's revenue sharing, how those fees are paid. With a lot of plans, you don't see the investment fees because they just come out off of the performance. You don't see it on your statement. And a lot of participants think their plan is free because of that. And we, as the advisor, want transparency in our plans. So we kind of talked about how to pull some of those fees out, and that's that revenue sharing piece that we really kind of dove into.
Yeah, so we talked about the different types of fees. We also talked about who pays those fees. Mm-hmm. Some fees the company pays and others the plan participant pays. And again, not all of it's understood or disclosed, and sometimes since each plan is different, there may not be a lot of awareness about that. The admin and TPA fees, sometimes the plan pays for them, sometimes they're paid out of plan assets. That's really on a plan by plan basis. Advisor compensation, again, same thing. It can be paid by the company and written off as an expense, or sometimes it's paid out of the plan assets.
Most of these fees are disclosed on what we call a 408B2 disclosure. Most, not all. It really depends on how your plan is written and how those fees are coming out. So for example, if everything is coming out of plan assets, all of those fees will be disclosed on your 408B2. However, if you're paying a TPA via a direct bill or your advisor that way as well, it won't show on the 408B2 disclosure. So we kind of got into where those are located. If you have any questions on looking at them or where to find them, absolutely reach out to Renee or myself, and we'd be more than happy to cover that with you. Everyone's 408B2, unfortunately, per company is different. So they can get pretty cumbersome to look at sometimes, and we're more than happy to help you go through those.
Right, and not only are the 408B2s sometimes cumbersome, but like Krista just said, sometimes the 408B2 doesn't always list all of the plan expenses. So we did remind everybody that was there that whenever we go out and we do the due diligence meetings with the plan, which is at least once a year, sometimes more, we do a fee benchmarking of the plan. And so we provide this B1 report through RPAG, and it compares the plan to other plans of similar size in terms of participants and assets. And it looks at record keeping and admin, it looks at investment expense, and it looks at advisor compensation. And so just because it's not on the 408B2 doesn't mean it's not a plan expense if it's something, like you said, that's invoiced. Mm-hmm. So we do pull all of that together too and help our plans, kind of get an overall view of what their plan fees are on a regular basis.
Yeah, and going back to that revenue sharing piece a little bit, investment related expenses can be confusing at times. There's different share classes, their expense ratios are different, and sometimes fees are paid out of that revenue sharing piece. When Charlie goes out and does a due diligence meeting, he will typically go over that, but we're trying to get back into that transparency that I mentioned earlier and kind of stripping out that revenue sharing and adding it in other ways so that participants are aware of what they're paying as well as you. It's very important as a fiduciary to make those fees available to everybody so that you are doing your duty of prudence and loyalty to your plan and your participants. So essentially, we have a huge lineup coming up for our next Coffee and K plans. But before we get to that, one thing that we did have during this session was an interactive quiz that we had iPads available for our participants and they got to answer, quiz questions during the entire presentation. Mm-hmm. And the winner actually was able to get our new Epstein Financial coffee mug. The nice thing about these is this is a brand new logo that we're going to be rolling out probably Monday. So sneak peek for you. But the cool thing, and we're really proud of this piece, is the coasters that come with it that have our Coffee and K Plans logos on them. So the winner got to take one of these home, and we're super proud of it. And if you want to kind of...
So talk about what's coming up next. Yeah. So that's our third recap for Coffee and K Plans. Krista and I have really been enjoying these past 3 months and in educating our plan sponsors. It's something that we're really passionate about, educating participants, plan sponsors, just really sharing the knowledge and information that we have. We figure the more informed we can have our plans and our participants, the more smooth these plans run, and hopefully the better off these participants will be once they do reach their retirement years. So with that being said, the last 3 months, Krista and I have been the ones to present. Although I missed last month, Krista did a fantastic job on her own. But we are bringing in some guest speakers that we're really excited about. So coming up starting in July, we're going to bring on our first guest speaker.
Yeah, our first guest speaker is actually going to be Matt Giovinazzo from the Retirement Plan Advisory Group, and he's coming to talk about target date funds and the importance of those in your retirement plan. So don't miss out on that. He's a wonderful speaker. When we go to conferences, we actually get to hear him. He's very dynamic. I wouldn't miss it if I were you.
So yeah, July 18th, we hope to see you there.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching our Coffee and K Plans video, and we hope to see you next time. Bye.
Bye.